Hey guys, just wanted to come here and film this super quick introduction. So I wanted to upload a portion of a video I did a couple months ago. It is a portion of a longer video where I went to Korea and kind of made a vlog style video. But part of that video was showing you guys how I developed my tones on my quad Cortex for the first time, as well as setting it up with Midi. So I wanted to take the Midi portion of that video and upload that as its own tutorial in case there's some of you out there who specifically just want to learn how to set up your quad Cortex via Midi, because it's not super hard and it was only a couple minute section and stuff like that. So I figured I would just take that section, put it here in its own place, and then if you want to go watch the longer form video where I talk about setting up, how I set up my tones and my patches for this gig, as well as just the vlog style content from the Korea stuff, you can. But this is just for the people who specifically want to know how to set up their quad Cortex via Midi. So cool. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe and have a great day. So now let's go ahead and talk about the Midi aspect of this and why you should be programming your stuff with Midi. So first and foremost, the method I'm using, you can do it over USB or 5-pin. I'm doing it 5-pin just because most of the playback rigs we use are still doing it with 5-pin Midi, but that's just up to you. So I'm gonna show you that method. So first and foremost, we're gonna go to our Midi section. You just want to make sure your remote is activated, and then if you want to use the out of the quad Cortex instead of 5-pin, you hit track right here. So your settings should look like this, and then you're going to go to your output, whatever you're using as your Midi hub, whether it's a Mio or anything else. I'm using a Volt 2 interface at home, so you're going to click that, and then whatever Midi channel you're set on, and you can find that really easily. All you have to do is go into device settings, find it, Midi settings, and click all these enabled, and then just see what channel your quad Cortex is on, and then make sure that's just corresponding correctly over here. So after that, you're basically just going to create a blank Midi clip. So I'll do this to start with you guys. This is still my first time kind of doing this, so I'm still kind of getting to know it, but from what I can understand, you have 3 different versions here. Your sub controls your actual folder. So if we go to our directory, these are your folders, right? So factory presets is 1, my presets, that's gonna be 2, and so on and so forth. So we want sub to be 2. Bank controls the first 16 presets down here, over here. And then the program controls which one within those numbers. So basically program 17, so bank 1 because I'm in my first 16, program 17 because we go here, so we go, these are all 1 through 8 basically. Instead, if you think of it, these as numbers instead of letters, we have 8 and then 16 and then 17. So that's why this is programmed here. So that's how you get to the preset itself. How you then change that, so at that point you can just copy and paste this. How you then change that is you essentially just go here to this little thing down here, this little toolbar, and you want this to be set to 33. So LSB for CC11 expression controller. And if you look here, like I said, I've already got this automated, but I'll just go back here. So 0 is preset scene A. So if I go here, so I'll just show you. So we'll go back to our preset, and I'll go to scene C. Then we cue this, go back, and we're now on scene A, as you see here. I need it to be on scene E because that's our verse one. So essentially we're going to go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're going to adjust that just basically right here. So you're just going to take him, raise him to 4, and so on. So now when we go back, so again, I'll change again. We'll go here. Don't need to worry about my outs. And it automatically pulls me into this verse patch. Makes life a lot easier. And then especially with these quick changes. So essentially all I did, I'm just going to copy him since it has like 90% of our information. And we're gonna go to our next change, which is this guy over here when we need to get to that bend. I'm gonna paste him here, and we'll rename this as well. So I'm just gonna call this, we'll do verse bend, and then Midi QC for quad Cortex. You can also put these here as well. I had a whole naming system for my Kemper, but this is obviously different. If you have a naming system, drop it down below. I will happily steal it from you because this is just kind of nonsense. Name it however you want. I just try and do as much as I can to make it so I know what's going on. And then we're just gonna raise him up 1 by 5. So I'll go ahead and show you that in action. So let's go back a little bit, give us some time. We're on our verse pad. So again, all that's done via Midi. It makes life way easier. And then on top of that, I don't have to touch the quad Cortex, especially with those quick changes. If you're walking around, moving around on stage like I like to be able to do, I can just hit that, goes right back to where I need it to be, and you don't got to worry about it anymore. So, all right, guys. So we're here in the rehearsal studio at the Beehive in LA. I just wanted to kind of take a second to show you guys what I've been doing. So all the patches are now programmed out. I kind of found a decent way to organize everything. I'll just kind of walk you through that really quickly. So for starters, I'll kind of show you, I decided to go ahead and just make a whole new file for just this specific gig. That way everything's just in its own place and I don't have to worry about it affecting anything else. Like I said earlier, I just took the home patch and just did it for every single song. And then when you go up to gig view, I basically just patched everything out using only the specific parts I needed. And then everything else is just grayed out. So that way I don't have a bunch of random stuff on my screen. Whoops. So if you go through here and see everything's pretty much labeled. Anything where it just says main, this just means I'm just using one song or one sound per this song. And then what we got going over on the computer is, again, just to kind of go over it. So bank 1 controls your first 16. If I go back over the list view here, basically what I mean by first 16 again is just these here. So because we're still in 1 through just 3, this is gonna stay on bank 1 and then sub 5 because this is folder number 5. And then since I'm starting at the beginning now, I'm basically just able to go up. Program 1 is song 1, program 2 is song 2, and so on. So that's kind of how I've decided to set this up. So that way it's easier and then I can just make my changes. Oh, and then also, yeah, to control scenes, all I'm having to do is just adjust this guy up or down depending on what I need. Again, I'm starting on 4 and going up because my first preset, my first scene is always gonna be scene E. So